To get her hands on you, that unhinged, obsessive CEO actually knocked you out and dragged you to her place. She even forcibly took your innocence. When you finally open your eyes, she's staring right at you, totally amused. Listen here, little puppy. As long as you marry me, luxury cars and mega mansions are yours for the taking. I'll give you a 6-figure allowance every single month. But from this day forward, you are never to see that Hu Lijing again. Hearing this, instead of running for your life, you pull her in by the back of the head and plant a kiss right on her lips. Yes, babe, I do. All because in your past life, you kept rejecting this dangerously obsessive CEO just to chase after that two-faced campus queen, Hu Lijing. And what did you get? That woman drained every last penny of your family's fortune and cheated on you behind your back. Now that you've been reborn, you're not making the same stupid mistakes. You're clinging straight to your sugar mommy. Hearing you blurt out, I do. Lu Mei's face lights up with absolute shock. She urgently presses, you mean you're really giving up on Hu Lijing? Without a single ounce of hesitation, you give a firm nod. But Lu Mei still leans in close, her eyes dripping with suspicion. Give me one good reason. Without another word, you seal her lips with a kiss. To your surprise, she leans right into it, wrapping her arms around your neck. Flipping the script and launching a fierce, passionate counterattack. 1 hour later, you're left completely dumbfounded. What is the deal with that glaring splash of crimson on the bedsheets? To be honest, in your last life, you always assumed Lu Mei was a total player who toyed with men's hearts. You figured she had at least 80, maybe even 100 boy toys. But right now, her beautiful face is flushed bright red. She whispers warily into your ear, boy, you chased Hu Lijing for so damn long. And now you're just dropping her, just like that? Do you really expect me to believe you? Hearing those words, your heart skips a beat. But you play it perfectly cool on the outside. I think you're way better and way sweeter, babe. And a much better catch. That Hu Lijing couldn't even hold a candle to a single one of your toes. The moment those words leave your mouth, Lu Mei's tone turns ice cold. So, boy, you're just after my money, aren't you? Money is only one part of it. More importantly, babe, I've already started falling for you. And what about love? Lu Mei doesn't mind if you lust after her body, but what she craves more than anything is your true heart. If I said I was already in love with you right now, would you believe me, babe? Not a chance. Lu Mei shakes her head without a second thought. You're instantly left speechless. You definitely didn't expect her to shoot you down so bluntly. Am I acting way too much like a simp? But staring down this 9th degree black belt in Taekwondo, I seriously don't have the guts to act tough. Looking at your pathetic, submissive little act, Lu Mei sharply changes the subject. Love or no love, it doesn't matter. As long as you promise to be a good boy and belong to me, you are never to mess around with other women again. Especially that Hu Lijing. As she speaks, she tightly pinches your chin. I don't care where you go, but you must come home every single night. And when you do, everything you did and everyone you saw, you will report to me, in full detail, step by step. Do you understand? You nod silently, even though you feel a little suffocated. But that condition isn't entirely unacceptable. Lu Mei suddenly broke into a wide grin. She affectionately patted your head, her tone instantly softening. Are you hungry, baby? Yeah, a little bit. You muttered under your breath. What do you want to eat? Lu Mei looked at you with eyes full of amusement. Some oysters and maybe some Rocky Mountain oysters. You replied, scratching your head and flashing a wicked smirk. Hearing your answer, Lu Mei matched your smirk. Not bad at all. Gotta fuel up so you have the energy to keep working hard, right? Meanwhile, over at the girls' dormitory of Icon University, Hu Lijing was tossing and turning in bed after just finishing her lunch. She snatched up her Xiaomi phone, glaring at the last message you had sent her. Her brows knitted tightly in frustration. What the hell is wrong with this guy? It's one thing that he didn't come pay for my lunch today, but he hasn't even sent a single text. Didn't he promise to love me forever and spend every dime he makes on me? He chased me for 4 years and he's already out of patience? Ugh, men really are all pigs. The more Hu Lijing thought about it, the more furious she got. You have to understand, ever since she started college, she hadn't spent a single cent eating at the cafeteria. It was always you, running over like a total simp to swipe your meal card for her. And today, he actually made her pay for herself. Doesn't loving someone mean spending money on them unconditionally? Shouldn't he be spoiling me rotten? Making me feel like a princess every single second? Men really ain't shit. They talk such a big game, but they never actually deliver. Thinking of this, Hu Lijing was so mad she wanted to just block your number right then and there. But just as her finger hovered over the screen, she pulled it back. No, I can't block him. What if he actually gives up hope? Who's gonna be my free meal ticket then? Sure, one meal isn't that expensive, but it saves me over $1,000 a month. Is it really that hard for him to buy me a new phone? If he's broke, can't he just ask his parents for the money? What an absolute blockhead. Hu Lijing's blood boiled the more she thought about it. She viciously made up her mind. I'll give you exactly 3 days. If you don't come crawling back to me in 3 days, I'm icing you out for 10 whole days. We'll see who cracks first. Just then, Her bestie, Zhang Wanyue, also shot you a text message. Liu Zhe, where the hell did you run off to? Li Jing has been waiting for you all day. As for you, right at this exact moment fueled by that magic stamina oil. You had just survived another earth-shattering round in bed. Lu Mei's gorgeous face was flushed crimson, but her eyes made it glaringly obvious that she still hadn't had enough. Of course, right at that very moment. Your phone buzzed. Lu Mei slowly licked her lips. Well, handsome looks like someone's texting you. Wanna see who it is? I can unlock it for you. You immediately caught the hint and shook your head furiously. No need for that. A dangerously playful smirk curled on Lu Mei's lips. You're my man now, baby. So how exactly do you plan on handling that little ex-girlfriend of yours? I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do. You couldn't help but sigh inwardly. Women, oh, women. She had already completely devoured me, and she still couldn't resist throwing in a little test. Truly living up to that crazy yandere reputation. Noticing you spacing out, Lu Mei snuggled directly into your chest, her fingernail tracing slow, teasing circles over your heart. Darling, what's going on in that pretty head of yours? It's nothing, I'm just a little curious. How I managed to catch the eye of a high-class, wealthy woman like you. Lu Mei didn't say a word. She just smiled. As long as you're a good boy and stay by my side. You'll get 100,000 a month in pocket money to spend however you want. If that's not enough, just ask for more. But if you dare use my money to sugar daddy some other woman, don't blame me for getting ruthless. Saying that, she leaned in close once again. You gave a violent shiver. Holy crap, don't tell me we're going for another round early the next morning. A sharp ringtone made you crack open your exhausted eyes. You grabbed your phone and took a look. And the caller ID actually said master? Right there in big letters. Listen up, mister. The new clothes I bought you, along with all those designer streetwear brands. They're all hanging in the walk-in closet. There's also limited edition sneakers and luxury accessories. Mix and match whatever you like. Lu Mei ordered in a tone that left no room for argument. Dress yourself up nicely before you head to class. Don't you dare embarrass me. And make sure you eat. With that, she hung up right in your ear before you could even get a word out. Being a sugar baby to a domineering female CEO feels way too damn good. No wonder girls are obsessed with those bossy billionaire novels. A bossy CEO who loves you, spoils you rotten, and sits on hundreds of billions in cash, sure. She's a bit of a yandere. But what guy could possibly resist that? You shook your head, marveling at it all. You took a shower, threw on the brand new designer gear, slipped into a pair of limited edition sneakers worth tens of thousands, and stood in front of the mirror. That broke student vibe was completely gone in a flash. You looked exactly like a top-tier playboy. A smug smirk tugged at your lips. Your entire body was just radiating that pure, unadulterated confidence that only money can buy. The second you pushed the door open, Lu Mei's bodyguard, Du Lazy, was standing respectfully in the hallway. Sir, the CEO has prepared a grand feast of bull pizzle and sheep oysters to rebuild your stamina. With Du Lazy staring at you without even blinking, you absolutely demolished the massive feast like a human tornado. You felt your energy absolutely bursting through the roof, like you could easily go another 300 rounds. Just then, Du Lazy slowly spoke up. Mr. Mew, what brand of luxury car do you prefer to drive? You weren't surprised by this at all. After all, Lu Mei had made a promise. As long as you're a good boy, you can drive whatever luxury car you want from the garage. You broke into a wide grin and shot back. Well, what kind of luxury cars are we talking about? Du Lazy immediately took the lead to show you the way. A few moments later, the two of you arrived at a massive underground garage. The sight in front of you literally made your jaw drop to the floor. As far as the eye could see, were multi-million-dollar supercars you'd only ever seen on the internet. Ferraris, Paganis, Bugattis. They had absolutely everything. You walked straight over to a stunning blue Bugatti Chiron. You couldn't help but ask, hey, brother Du. The internet says it takes at least 50 million to get one of these in the country, is that true? Pretty much. It was just 2 million shy of 60 million. Mother of God, that is insanely expensive. Then I'm definitely taking this one out. You lovingly patted the hood of the Chiron, unable to keep your hands off it. Very well, sir. Here are the keys to the Bugatti Chiron. Du Lazy smiled and handed over the keys. And so, basking in his utterly jealous and envious glare, as you slowly pull that blue Chiron out of the garage, Du Lazy watches you, practically on the verge of tears. I seriously don't get what Lu Dai sees in this kid. I mean, I don't look half bad myself. Of course, Du Lazy is just muttering this under his breath. But his foot sure didn't hesitate. He immediately hopped into the Cullinan and tailed right behind you. After all, Lu Dai gave strict orders to keep a close eye on your every move. And to protect you, of course. Though making sure you don't betray her is probably the real goal here. You haven't driven far from the villa estate when you pull over to the side of the road. Your phone has been buzzing like crazy. You unlock it and take a look. It's flooded with messages from your roommate. Moog, bro, are you seriously falling apart over a girl? It's been days, and you're still not over it? Is it really worth it? That old witch of a counselor said. If you don't show up today, you're going to have to march right into her office. Ah, what a pain. Yeah, I got it. I'm heading to campus right now. Just as you toss your phone down, someone taps on your window. You roll it down, and a red-haired, alternative-looking girl pokes her head in. Can I help you? You ask, a bit puzzled. Whoa, you are so gorgeous. You look just like a celebrity. The red-haired girl's eyes are practically sparkling. Hey handsome, are you an influencer or something? You look super familiar. Sorry about that, but I'm not, you reply casually, brushing her off. Well, can I take a selfie with you then? She asks, her eyes brimming with hope. You think about it for a second, then give a slight nod. Sure, no problem. The girl whips out her phone instantly, leaning in so close her head is practically pressed against her face. She even pouts her lips for the camera. Hey, handsome, can I get your number? Ah, that's gonna be a no. I'm a married man, and my wife? She keeps a real tight leash on me. She absolutely forbids me from adding random girls. With that said, you slam on the gas pedal, and the Chiron roars off, leaving her in the dust. You make it to campus in no time. After parking the car, you take a leisurely stroll toward the dorms. Unexpectedly, you bump right into Hu Lijing and her bestie. She acts like some stuck-up swan, not even sparing you a single glance as she turns down a side path. You can't help but roll your eyes. You quickly pick up your pace to get away, like you're trying to dodge a bad omen. Meanwhile, Hu Lijing catches a glimpse out of the corner of her eye that you aren't chasing after her. Her neck flushes bright red with anger. How dare he just ignore me? By this time, you've already sprinted all the way to your classroom. But the students inside are buzzing with gossip, and the topic on everyone's lips? You, and the Bugatti Chiron you drove in today. A 60 million yuan Bugatti Chiron. And the guy driving it looks like he's exactly our age. Since when did Kun University have a filthy rich heir like that walking around? He's probably a junior, or a senior, right? There's no way he's a freshman. Otherwise, the rumors would have exploded ages ago. On the other side of campus, Hu Lijing is still sulking. Her bestie, Zhang Wanyue, tries to comfort her. Oh, Lijing, don't be so mad. Maybe Moog just hasn't saved up enough cash to buy you that phone yet, and he's just too embarrassed to face you. Hu Lijing nods as she listens, thinking it actually makes a lot of sense. Then she glances your way again, taking in that limited edition LV outfit of yours. That's gotta cost at least 10 grand, right? Zhang Wanyue scoffed, rolling her eyes. It's definitely some cheap knockoff she bought online. The real deal would cost tens of thousands for the whole outfit. You can easily score that online for 200 bucks. Besides, with how cheap Mu Zhe is, would he really drop that kind of cash on himself? Then, the two shifted their gossip to the owner of the Chiron. What's your game plan? What do you think? Unless I practically throw myself at him, guys like that wouldn't even give me the time of day. Oh, don't be so sure about that, Lijing. He hasn't even met you yet. What if he takes one look and falls head over heels for you? And he'll be throwing stacks of cash at you. Hu Lijing, of course, had absolutely no intention of letting this golden opportunity slip by. Alright, let's go scope out this Chiron owner after school. Oh, we definitely are. If I catch his eye, I could be marrying into serious money. This is the chance of a lifetime, Lijing. You better not let it slip. Zhang Wanyue seemed even more hyped up than she was. Deal, it's a plan, then. Right after school, I'm changing into that super short sailor outfit. I'm gonna leave him absolutely spellbound. Hu Lijing was already bouncing with excitement. Meanwhile, you were slumped over your desk, bored out of your mind. Suddenly, your phone buzzed. It was a text from Lu Mei. You bumped into Hu Lijing at school today and you stared at her for exactly 3.69 seconds. Fess up, you're still into her, aren't you? A wave of guilt washed over you. This crazy yandere actually put a tail on me. I literally just glanced at her. Is it really necessary to go on a full-blown witch hunt over this? But surprisingly, you didn't hate this suffocating possessiveness at all. In fact, you were kind of into it. I've been falsely accused, Master. It was just a subconscious reflex. Honestly, it was no different than glancing at a stray dog on the street. It has absolutely nothing to do with whether I still like her or not. I don't buy it, Lu Mei fired back instantly. But I'm telling the absolute truth. I swear I'm not lying to you. Just wait till you get home. I'm going to punish you good and hard. Lu Mei texted back furiously. Oh, crap. The boss lady is throwing a fit again. But wait. Asterisk. Punish me? Hee. Bring it on. After all, a little roughhousing is just her way of showing love. Get your ass home the second school lets out. Don't you dare linger outside for even 1 second. If I don't see you by 6 o'clock, you can forget about leaving the house tomorrow. The moment the final bell rang, you didn't even bother grabbing a real meal from the cafeteria. You scarfed down a quick bite and sprinted to the parking lot like your life depended on it. But when you got there, you were completely dumbfounded. There was a massive crowd of nosy students, packed 3 layers deep, blocking the exit entirely. Even campus security had to be called in for crowd control. Your flashy blue Chiron had basically turned into a viral selfie spot for these college kids. Looks like driving a Bugatti is still way too flashy for this crowd. I'll have to switch to something a bit more low-key tomorrow. Maybe the McLaren P1, yeah, that should work. Pushing through the edge of the crowd, you caught sight of Hu Lijing and her bestie. She was rocking a short cargo skirt, and her long, gorgeous legs were practically begging for attention. The two of them were playing it cool, acting like they totally didn't care about the chaos in the parking lot. Zhang Wanyue was busy snapping photos while Hu Lijing struck all sorts of flirty poses. But knowing exactly how that woman operated, you could see right through her little scheme. Sir, unless you want Boss Lu to personally gouge your eyeballs out, I'd strongly suggest you look away. A deep male voice rumbled right next to your ear. You snapped your head around to look. Wow, it's actually bodyguard Du Lazy. Good old brother Du. Couldn't you see the pure disgust in my eyes for her? Even hating her isn't allowed. Lu's possessiveness is straight up psychotic. Not to mention, the one you were looking at was Hu Lijing. Hearing him say that, you were instantly left speechless. With Lu's totally yandere personality, she's capable of literally anything. Excuse me, coming through, please. Seeing you walk straight toward the Chiron, a few college students instantly started grumbling in annoyance. Hey, man, if you want a picture with the Chiron, get in line like everybody else, pretty boy. College students shouldn't be this classless, you couldn't even be bothered to give them the time of day. Under everyone's completely dumbfounded stares, you walked right up to the Chiron, and just hopped in. Right then, Hu Lijing, who was busy striking a pose for pictures, saw the Chiron start up. She instantly tensed up. Jing Jing, the owner of the Chiron is here. Hu Lijing glued her peripheral vision dead onto that blue Chiron. She fought back the urge to rush over and hit on him. I see him. Girl, we gotta play hard to get first. Throwing yourself at him right away is way too cheap. Let's just keep taking pictures. With your face and body? As if he wouldn't fall for you. Hu Lijing nodded excitedly, seeing the car about to pull up. She even purposely hiked her miniskirt up a little higher, but then... What happened next? The most clueless guy in the crowd right now was none other than Zutu. His eyes were totally red, and clenching his fists, he growled under his breath. Damn you, Muje. Hiding the fact that you're a filthy rich kid from everyone is one thing. But keeping your best bro in the dark? You mooched so many meals off me. Is this how you treat me? Don't just stand there like an idiot. Hurry up and get in. As the car rolled past Zutu, you casually popped open the passenger door. Zutu's eyes instantly lit up, thinking to himself, that's my true bro right there. No snobby rich kid attitude at all. Muje, seriously man, why the hell did you hide this secret rich boy identity even from me? Am I really that untrustworthy to you? A sugar mommy gave me this car. My dad isn't exactly some wealthy tycoon, you explained, throwing your hands up in a shrug. Yeah, bullshit. You really think you're the main character in some overpowered web novel? A sugar mommy? Please. What kind of sugar mommy is that blind? Zutu scoffed, looking utterly unconvinced. Whatever, think what you want, you sighed, shrugging helplessly. You slammed your foot on the gas of the blue Chiron, and the car shot off like a streak of blue lightning. It roared right past the patch of grass where Hu Lijing was standing, blasting 100 meters away in an instant. Inside the car, the massive G-force pinned Zutu dead against his seat, scaring him into screaming his lungs out. Holy crap, what's the rush? Are you trying to get us killed? Just as the words left his mouth, the car began to slow down. With a look of pure disgust, you replied, there was a piece of trash right there just now. It was a total eyesore. Zutu glanced back over his shoulder, and instantly got it. Wait, you meant Hu Lijing? Who else? You scoffed, a sneer forming on your lips. Muje, my man, beautifully done. Zutu slapped you hard on the shoulder. Bro, I knew you weren't a complete idiot. You were pretending to be broke when you chased her just to test if she's a gold digger, right? No, you only guessed half of it. I wasn't pretending to be broke back then, not until I met that crazy, obsessed billionaire lady. Bro, I was actually broke. Meanwhile, over by the lawn, Hu Lijing was completely dumbfounded, watching the car roar past. She almost lost it right then and there. Did he seriously not see us? Zhang Wanyue looked totally stunned, muttering softly to herself. Yue, don't worry, he just couldn't see clearly. The car was going so fast, he was definitely just focused on the road. Even if he caught a glimpse, we were just two blurry shadows. There's no way he could see how gorgeous I am. So should we go after him now? Zhang Wanyue asked blankly. Don't even bother. Driving a McLaren around campus, tons of students definitely saw him. Let's ask around first. Once we dig up his background, we'll have plenty of chances. Hu Lijing replied with total confidence. She immediately strutted over to an upperclassman with glasses, flashing him a super sweet smile. Hi there, senior. The guy in glasses instantly blushed. Avoiding eye contact, he stammered, hey there. Did you need something? Well, it's like this. That guy who was driving the McLaren just now, did you happen to get a video of him getting into the car? Hu Lijing blinked her big, innocent eyes expectantly. The senior's eyes immediately lost their spark. Turns out, this cute, innocent girl wasn't asking for his number. She was just after the guy with the McLaren. Yeah, I got a short clip. The guy didn't look that old. He actually looked around your age. Probably a freshman too. After a quick thank you, Hu Lijing snatched the phone from him and tapped play. The video was less than 10 seconds long. But when she saw you, wearing head-to-toe knockoffs and casually sliding into the driver's seat, her eyes nearly popped out of her head. WH what? How is this even possible? Zhang Wanyue leaned in closer to look. Lijing, is he cute? Which upperclassman is he? Do we know him? Hu Lijing stayed completely silent, just handing the phone over. After watching the clip, Zhang Wanyue stumbled back in shock. Muje? How on earth could it be Muje? Meanwhile, on the other side of town, because Zhu totally called bullshit on your whole sugar mommy story, he kept pestering you until you let him see her for himself. So, you had no choice but to bring him to Lu Mei's exclusive neighborhood, Grandview Estate. The second you guys arrived, Zhu's jaw practically hit the floor. Holy crap, this place is absolutely insane. Hurry up, man, let's just meet her and get the hell out of here. You dragged Zhu up to the front door, but just as you were about to punch in the passcode, her bodyguard, Du Lazy, stuck his arm out, blocking your path. Mr. Mu, Miss Lu despises having outsiders set foot in her home. If you don't want to piss her off, I suggest you have your friend leave right now. She doesn't like outsiders coming in. What, is this billionaire lady a massive germaphobe or something? You raised an eyebrow. And what exactly happens if I insist on bringing Zhu inside? You pressed on. Du Lazy leaned in close and whispered right into your ear. Miss Lu will force you to your knees and make you lick the floors clean like a dog until there's not a single speck of dust left. Hearing that sends a chill down your spine. This isn't just some crazy obsession. She's a straight-up psychopath. And what's even more terrifying is that you know Lu Mei would actually do it. Looks like introducing Zhu to the rich lady will have to wait for another day. But just as you're about to drag Zhu out of there, the massive doors of the luxury villa silently swing open. And standing right there in the doorway is Lu Mei. She doesn't say a single word, but her cold, overwhelmingly domineering aura hits you right in the face. The pressure is absolutely suffocating. Since someone else is here, calling her master probably isn't a good idea. You're just about to open your mouth and call her boss Lu, but before you can even get it out, her icy voice cuts you right off. Call me, wifey. Lu Mei parts her red lips, staring at you with a look that leaves zero room for argument. Wifey? Zhu completely freezes in his tracks. Then he starts winking at you like a maniac. Damn, bro, you really pulled it off. The sugar mommy is this young and gorgeous? Leave some for the rest of us, will ya? Zhu is practically turning green with jealousy. He can't believe your insane luck with women. Meanwhile, Lu Mei clicks over in her high heels, slips her arm through yours, and rests her head perfectly on your shoulder. Looking as intimate and sweet as possible, she purrs, darling. Your wifey is right here, darling. I'm right here. Then, she turns her gaze over to Zhu. And who is this handsome guy? Are you my hubby's classmate? Zhu instantly panics, nodding his head like a woodpecker. Hey, Du Lazy, why are you just standing there? Can't you see my husband and his guest have arrived? Hurry up and invite him inside for some tea. Lu Mei shoots a glaring look at Du Lazy, her voice suddenly turning sharp and cold. Now Du Lazy is the one freaking out. Be boss Lu. Didn't I tell you to shut up? Lu Mei brutally cuts him off. Just do exactly as you're told. Cut the crap. Do you want to lose your job? Du Lazy's heart practically skips a beat. He knows boss Lu absolutely despises outsiders setting foot in her private territory. If he wasn't distant relatives with her, there's no way in hell he'd ever be allowed inside this villa. She smiles sweetly again. Zhu, please have a seat in the living room for a bit. My hubby and I have a little something to discuss privately in our bedroom. We'll be right out as soon as we're done. Hearing this, Zhu immediately senses something is off. And for you, once you two are alone, you are completely screwed. Knowing Lu Mei's psycho obsession, there's no way she's letting you off the hook that easily. Wait, we have company. You stammer. There's no need to rush into this. We can wait until he leaves. It's not too late. It's not even the middle of the night. But before you can even process what's happening, she drags you into the bedroom. Lu Mei slams the door shut behind you and locks it with a heavy click. That perfectly sweet, innocent face of hers flips faster than a light switch. Her entire demeanor darkens, quicker than you can even blink. She grabs both of your wrists in a vice grip and violently yanks them upward. She pins your arms dead against the wall, forcefully pressing her body flush against your chest. This flawlessly executed takedown in your past life, Lu Mei stalked you for 4 whole years. You know her aggressive moves by heart now, but no matter how used to it you are, you couldn't fight back either, because in both strength and speed, she was completely out of your league. No matter how hard you struggled, it was totally useless. Lu Mei's face was ice cold. Today when you went out, that emo girl hit on you and took pictures with you. I can pretend I didn't see that. But when you bumped into Hu Lijing, you actually stared at her for 3.96 seconds. For this kind of betrayal, you had to pay the price. And by the parking lot after school, you just couldn't help yourself, could you? You stared at her again. You stared for a full 11.46 seconds. We clearly had a deal. That is my man, you'd be loyal only to me, Lu Mei, for the rest of your life. And what happened? You actually still have feelings for that bitch. You frantically tried to explain. Boss Lu, call me wifey. Lu Mei's face was utterly freezing. Hearing this, you immediately corrected yourself. Wifey, it's not what you think. Then what is it? Lu Mei demanded. She was wearing a miniskirt, and you stared at her for 11.46 seconds. Are you telling me you weren't thinking about anything? Do you honestly expect me to believe that? I'm innocent, honey. I swear, I wasn't looking at that bitch's legs. Besides, her legs are absolutely nothing compared to yours. Yours are absolute perfection. Hearing this, Lu Mei let out a cold sneer. Then why did you stare at her for over 10 seconds? You gritted your teeth. That's because I hate her. I hate that she's a two-faced manipulator who made me waste so much of my time and energy. I don't believe you, Lu Mei said, tightly gripping your chin. The deeper the hate, the deeper the love. All this hate you keep talking about, who knows? One day it might just turn back into love. And then you'll just abandon me, and throw yourself right back into her arms. Jesus, just how insecure is this psycho-billionaire heiress? You smiled bitterly to yourself. It was a shame you had no idea what Lu Mei had been through growing up. Otherwise you could have handled her better. I will never leave you. Never. Not unless I'm dead. You looked at Lu Mei with unwavering eyes. I don't buy empty promises. I only believe in actions. Lu Mei's face remained totally unbothered. Actions, huh? You said, and the very next second, you leaned in and kissed her. Yet, your kissing skills were as desperately clumsy and rough as ever. With absolutely zero technique. 2.5 minutes later, Lu Mei shoved you away, stumbling back 2 steps. Sitting back down on the couch, she crossed her legs. Her tone was demanding. Come here, take my heels off. You knew she wouldn't let you off the hook that easily. You hurried over to her, bending down and kneeling at her feet, gently holding up her delicate feet. Meanwhile, in the living room, Su-Tu was sitting on another couch, sipping on some premium Billiwakan tea, secretly burning with envy. Man, I'm so jealous of Brother Mew. Talk about dumb luck. I don't know what kind of good karma he built up in his past life to ditch Hulijing and land right in the arms of a filthy rich sugar mommy. I guess that's not a bad deal at all. Brother Du, when do you think Lu Dai and Mew will come out? Su-Tu looked at Du Lazy and asked. Look, Su, don't take this the wrong way, man, but our Lu Dai really doesn't want to see you right now. Hell, even with me, they can't wait for me to clear out. She just wants to be alone with Mr. Mew. You know, still in that honeymoon phase. So, Su, since I put it this bluntly, you should get what I'm saying, Du Lazy said frankly. Su-Tu suddenly understood. He tilted his head back and downed his Billiwakan tea in one gulp. Thanks for the heads up, bro. Since it's Lu Dai and Mu's private time, I won't be a third wheel. I'm heading out. Du Lazy also stood up and said with a smile. I'll walk you out. 1 hour later, inside the room, you looked down at Lu Mei, resting quietly in your arms. She was so beautiful you were completely mesmerized. You could feel the steady beat of her heart. The peaceful, radiant happiness on her face was something you had never seen in your past life. It sparked a sudden, deep urge to truly know her. Why did she love you this much? What was her life like growing up? How did she build such a massive family empire? What were her deepest likes and dislikes? You wanted to understand it all. You spoke softly. Honey, are you asleep? Lu Mei gently shook her head. Don't move. Just stay still. You have to be a good boy for me to keep liking you. By the way, babe, when is your birthday? You asked again. Hearing this, Lu Mei slowly opened her eyes. Are you asleep? Lu Mei gently shook her head. Don't move, just stay still. You have to be a good boy for me to always like you. By the way, babe, when is your birthday? You asked again. Hearing this, Lu Mei slowly opened her eyes. Why, want to get me a birthday gift? Seeing you nod in agreement, Lu Mei gently stroked your hair. My birthday is tomorrow. With that, she closed her eyes again. Her birthday was tomorrow? What a coincidence. Asterisk, you muttered to yourself. You immediately asked, honey, are you going to throw a big party? You knew you had to get this straight. If it was a big bash, you'd need to buy a proper, decent gift. But if she kept it low-key, you could just get something cheap for now, and make up for it when you actually had money. Lu Mei shook her head. I don't want to. I just want to be sweet and cozy with you. Just the two of us is enough. I get it. You nodded gently. Lu Mei didn't reply. Another hour passed. You were both still holding each other tightly. You tested the waters and gave her a little kiss. No reaction. Then, you gave her a gentle pinch. Still no response. Finally, you blew softly into her ear. Still completely motionless. Looks like she really is fast asleep. So, you leaned close to her ear and whispered softly, my dearest wife. My boss, my sugar mommy, my hopeless romantic, my silly wife. You suddenly looked completely serious. Lu Mei, I love you. I really, truly like you. Even though I was crying my eyes out over Hulijing just a couple of days ago saying I love you right now. You probably think it's all fake. You probably think I'm just after your money. But I can't exactly rip my heart out to prove it to you. Please just believe me. From today onwards, there is absolutely no room for any other woman in my eyes. Of course, if you ever get tired of playing with me and dump me, then we'll just part ways on good terms. After you finished pouring your heart out, Lu Mei still didn't react at all. You tried to gently let go of her hand, but her body went completely limp. And she almost collapsed right onto the floor. Thankfully, your reflexes were quick, pulling her into your arms in a flash. She's sleeping so deeply, must be completely exhausted from work, you muttered to yourself. Then, you scooped her up and carefully placed her back onto the bed. Just as you tucked her in, your stomach suddenly let out a loud rumble. You pushed the bedroom door open to go hunt for some food, only to run into the bodyguard, Do Lazy. He was busy working the microwave, with a few reheated dishes already sitting next to it. You took one look. It was that familiar, ultimate stamina-boosting meal. Mr. Mew. Hearing the footsteps behind him, Do Lazy turned around with a grin. After taking care of Boss Lu for so long, you must be starving, huh? Hearing the words, taken care of, coming from Do Lazy's mouth, always made you feel a bit weird. Mr. Mew, you'd better eat more of that bulkiness. Otherwise, when Boss Lu wakes up tomorrow, you're gonna be in for a rough time. Do Lazy reminded you with a teasing chuckle. Oh, right, Mr. Mew. Tomorrow is Boss Lu's birthday. Did she mention it to you? Well, she didn't bring it up herself. But while we were getting intimate earlier, I went ahead and asked. She already told me. So, are you still going to your classes tomorrow, Mr. Mew? Do Lazy asked with a smile. Nope, I'm not going. I'll find an excuse to take a day off and spend some quality time with my wife. I don't want her feeling insecure, thinking I'm still hung up on that nasty piece of work, Hu Lijing. Do Lazy could easily pick up on your absolute disgust for Hu Lijing, but whether it was real or an act, even he couldn't tell for sure. Bro don't just stand there. Hurry up and give me some pointers. How does Lu Mei usually celebrate her birthdays? What kind of gifts does she like? However, that question completely stumped Do Lazy. He stood there for a long time without saying a single word. Seeing this, you raised an eyebrow. Don't tell me she's never even had a proper birthday party before? You actually hit the nail right on the head. Do Lazy let out a heavy sigh. Boss Lu was sent abroad to study when she was 10, and didn't come back until she was 22. As her distant cousin, from what I can remember, she's never really celebrated her birthdays much at all. I've never even seen her buy a cake once. You looked at him in absolute shock. No way she's seriously never had a birthday party? Looks like Lu Mei wasn't exactly the favorite child at home either. No wonder in her eyes. You can always see this deep sense of loneliness and loss. Do Lazy continued. One time, I wanted to celebrate Lu Mei's birthday. I went out of my way and dropped 5,000 bucks on a 7-tier fruitcake. The second I pulled it out of the car, before I could even get a word out, she snatched the cake right out of my hands and smashed it onto the ground. She even screamed at me, saying if I ever did something like that again, I should get the hell out of her sight and never show my face around her again. So did Lu Mei actually agree to let you celebrate her birthday? Do Lazy asked, burning with curiosity. She told me herself that her birthday is tomorrow. She definitely won't turn me down. You replied with a grin. Then you stepped up and gave Do Lazy a pat on the shoulder. Listen, man, don't overthink it. Once you truly fall in love with a woman, you'll figure it all out. And who said you could come out here? An icy voice suddenly cut through from behind. You jolted, and let out a shiver. How did she wake up just like that? When I secretly pinched you earlier, you were knocked out like Sleeping Beauty, not a single reaction. But the second I step outside, you're wide awake? What? Am I your personal sleeping pill or something? Don't be mad, honey. I'm coming back right now to tuck you in. You hastily turned around, but Do Lazy suddenly grabbed your arm. He leaned in and whispered in your ear. Hey, you gotta keep what I just said a secret, man. Do not breathe a word to Lu Mei. I'll treat you to barbecue later to make up for it. You froze for a second, then walked over to Lu Mei's side. Before you could even open your mouth, Lu Mei went soft and melted right into your arms. She blew softly against your ear, her voice dripping with sweet temptation. My feet hurt from standing so long. You know what to do, right? Any real man would get the hint. In the very next second, without saying a word, you swept her up into a princess carry. The corners of Lu Mei's lips curled into a smirk. She smoothly wrapped both arms tight around your neck. Then, she snapped her head toward Do Lazy. What the hell are you still standing around for? Is being a third wheel that fun? Get the hell out of here. I said, what are you still standing around for? Is being a third wheel that fun? Get the hell out of here right now. Do Lazy jumped out of his skin in sheer terror, not daring to stick around for even a second longer. He tucked tail and sprinted away. Was I a little too harsh just now? I didn't scare you, did I? Lu Mei asked, reaching out to gently lift your chin. I'm fine. Besides, I wasn't the one getting screamed at. You kept a cool smile on your face, but inside, your heart was pounding like a crazy drum. Holy crap, this billionaire boss lady flips her switch way too fast. 1 second she's all soft and sweet, and the very next, she goes full domineering tyrant and screams your head off. As long as you're not scared, Lu Mei murmured, running her fingers through your hair with a doting look. It's getting really late. Time for my gorgeous wife to get some rest. Let's head inside. But just as you walked into the bedroom, about to set Lu Mei down, she pressed those tempting red lips right up against your ear. Hey, tough guy. I haven't even taken my bath yet. Who knew this crazy, possessive billionaire could actually be this clingy? Though, her way of acting cute is still aggressively bossy. Later, during the bath, with her makeup washed off, Lu Mei lost that sharp, intimidating corporate edge. Instead, she looked incredibly pure and sweet. Staring at that absolutely flawless face, you couldn't help but sigh in genuine admiration. So beautiful. After saying that, you leaned down and kissed her forehead. Lu Mei had fallen into a deep sleep again. You could feel her steady breathing against your chest. It felt warm and slightly ticklish. I really don't know what kind of luck I, Mu Jie, stumbled into. To be chosen by someone like you, Lu Mei. It honestly feels like a dream. You sighed in awe once more. Just then, the phone resting on the shelf suddenly started ringing. You picked it up and took a look. It was an unsaved local Shanghai number. Could it be Lu Mei's family calling? You thought about it for a second, then went ahead and pressed answer. Miss Lu, this is already the 36th phone number I've bought. Could you please stop blocking me? Lan Weiyan, I'm begging you. Voice belonged to a young man. But just from that one sentence, you could instantly smell the absolute desperation of a massive simp. You weren't really surprised, though. This wealthy, obsessive woman was gorgeous and loaded. She definitely wasn't short on suitors. Otherwise, every man in the world would have to be as blind as you were in your past life. Bro, Miss Lu is already taken. Just give up on her. And go find someone else. You actually offered him some genuine advice. Lan Weiyan was instantly thrown into a panic. Who are you? Isn't this Miss Lu's phone? Why the hell is a guy answering? Did I dial the wrong number? After 2 or 3 seconds of dead silence, Lan Weiyan suddenly snapped, his voice rising in panic. Who the hell are you? This is definitely Lu Mei's number. What's your relationship with her? Spit it out. Hearing this, you just chuckled. She's my wife, and she's lying right here in my arms. We just finished having some fun together. What do you think our relationship is? No, that's completely impossible. Lan Weiyan screamed hysterically at first, but then let out a cold sneer. Buddy, don't think I don't know Lu Mei hired you to put on an act. If you think a cheap trick like this will make me give up, you're dead wrong. Unless I see it with my own 2 eyes, I won't believe it to save my life. What a stubborn, desperate simp. Delusional enough to make up his own excuses, too. You replied coldly, you want to watch me and Lu Mei? You're out of your damn mind. On the other end of the line, Lan Weiyan was burning with anxiety. Then put Lu Mei on the phone. Let her tell me that herself. That shouldn't be too hard, right? As someone who had been in his shoes before, you couldn't help but sigh at how pathetic he was being, lying to himself like this. Of course it's not hard. But Lu Mei and I are in the tub right now. She got a bit tired, and fell asleep right on my chest. There's no way I'm waking her up. Hey, taking a bath together? You make it sound so real. Lan Weiyan let out a mocking, disdainful laugh. He clearly didn't buy a single word you said. Believe whatever you want. I've said my piece. Stay the hell away from my wife from now on, or you'll regret it. With that, you got ready to hang up. But right at that very moment, a slender hand shot out from the bathwater, snatching the phone right out of your grasp. A split second later, Lu Mei's icy voice cut through the air. Lan Weiyan, listen to me very carefully. You couldn't even compare to a single strand of hair on my man's head. After saying that, she hung up and blocked him immediately, as if saying even one more word would be absolute torture. Tossing her phone aside, Lu Mei wrapped her arms tightly around her body again. What are you spacing out for? Hurry up and hold me. You had to admit, Lu Mei's body was incredibly soft and smooth. Just holding her like this felt absolutely unbelievable. Meanwhile, at the splendid view estate, inside a luxuriously decorated villa, Lan Weiyan was sitting on the couch, head down and completely silent. The words Lu Mei spat before hanging up, that he couldn't even compare to a single strand of her man's hair, had dealt him a massive blow. He just couldn't accept it. How could Lu Mei, who had always looked down on every man she met, secretly fall for someone? Knowing her, she was notoriously anti-men. Other than her bodyguard, Du Lazy, she practically never interacted with any other guys. And that was only because Du Lazy was her cousin. If it were anyone else, even if an A- list celebrity stood right in front of her, Lu Mei wouldn't even bat an eye. It has to be fake that's Lu Mei we're talking about. With a net worth in the tens of billions, what kind of man couldn't she get? Even if top celebrities threw themselves at her and acted like complete simps, they'd still have to praise she was in a good mood. There's no way she just picked some random guy. No way. I can't let her trick me with just a few words. Seeing is believing. Tomorrow happens to be her birthday, which gives me the perfect excuse to go see her. Meanwhile, Lu Mei was scrolling through your phone. Tomorrow happens to be her birthday, which gives me the perfect excuse to go see her. Meanwhile, Lu Mei was scrolling through your phone. She noticed a contact on QQ saved as Hu Lijing. Ever since 8 p.m. She had sent her man 7 or 8 messages in a row, and he hadn't replied to a single one. What a shameless little bitch. Hearing her furious cursing, you stroked her hair and said, "Should I just delete her? So she stops bothering us. You sure your heart won't ache if you delete her?" Lu Mei looked up at you, with a teasing half-smile, clearly testing the waters. Of course not. I'd be too busy celebrating. If Hu Lijing jumped off a building tonight, got hit by a car, or even choked to death on water, I'd pop a bottle of champagne to celebrate. At that very moment, in the girls' dorm at Kun University, Hu Lijing was looking completely dejected. She seemed to be staring at her computer screen doing homework, but out of the corner of her eye, she kept glancing at her phone. She was desperately hoping for just one single reply from you. It's true what they say, men go bad the second they get rich. Just a few days ago, he was swearing up and down that even if he made hundreds of millions, he'd only ever love me. And now, the second he gets behind the wheel of a Bugatti Chiron, he completely forgets about me. Good thing I played it cool and only asked if he was busy. At least I didn't make myself look cheap. Otherwise, he'd think I was an easy target. Hey, Lijing, do you really think that Chiron belongs to Mu Jie? Ever since getting back to the dorm, Zhang Wanyue had asked that exact same question no less than 10 times. Yue, I'll say it again, a 60 million yuan supercar. Do you honestly think there's anywhere in this country you could just rent one? Hu Lijing was absolutely convinced that Mu Jie was secretly a billionaire heir. But Zhang Wanyue didn't see it that way. She just couldn't accept that Mu Jie, the guy who had been chasing her best friend for 4 years, suddenly turned out to be some loaded rich kid. Sure, she didn't want her bestie getting bothered by some broke loser, but she definitely didn't want to see her get dumb lucky either. Just then, Hu Lijing changed the subject. Hey, why don't we ask Zhu Tu? He's Mu Jie's absolute best friend at Kun University. I bet he knows the real deal. But I don't have Zhu Tu's number. He was so annoyingly desperate when he added me on QQ before. I deleted him ages ago. Zhang Wanyue totally froze. Hu Lijing was utterly speechless, mainly because she had done the exact same thing. Suddenly, a thought hit her, and she blurted out, "Doesn't your media major have a group chat? Go look for him in there. Zhu Tu is definitely in it." Oh, you're right. Zhang Wanyu's eyes lit up. She quickly whipped out her phone and started scrolling frantically through the group list. It didn't take long before she spotted Zhu Tu, rocking his cartoon Luffy profile picture. Lijing, why don't you add him instead? Zhu Tu used to have a massive crush on me. If I reach out now, he might get the wrong idea. It's just way too awkward. Zhang Wanyue smoothly made up an excuse to pass the buck. Hu Lijing said yes out loud, but in her head, she was rolling her eyes super hard. If you think he's too broke, just say it. What's the point of such a lame excuse? Adding Zhu Tu went smoothly, but the second he accepted, he just sent 3 question marks. Hu Lijing got straight to typing. Hey there, Zhu Tu. Wanted to ask you a quick question. Is that blue Chiron Mu Jie was driving really his? She didn't bother beating around the bush. She just cut straight to the chase. If it's not his, what is it yours? Zhu Tu texted back, practically sneering in disgust. Just look at this. This was Hu Lijing's true color. She only saw money, never actual feelings. If my bro Mu Jie hadn't shown up at school flexing that Chiron today, would this gold digger really have the nerve to add me back? What an absolute joke. On her end, she asked, "You're not messing with me, right?" Hu Lijing pressed him, totally unwilling to let it go. Believe what you want. I'm going to sleep. Stop bothering me. Oh, by the way, let me tell you one more thing. My boy Mu Jie already has a girlfriend. And she isn't just drop-dead gorgeous with an amazing body. She's also crazy rich. I heard she was the one who chased him, too. Wait, what did you just say? Hu Lijing's face instantly went completely pale. Her eyes were as wide as saucers. If you want to know if it's true, go ask Mu Jie yourself. And seriously, stop bugging me. Lijing, what's wrong? What did Zhu Tu say to you? Zhang Wanyue asked, patting her bestie's shoulder with genuine concern. Hu Lijing didn't even answer. Instead, she backed out of the chat, immediately found her profile picture, and frantically typed out a message. Zhu Tu said you have a girlfriend now. Is that really true? Seeing another message pop up from Hu Lijing, a knowing smirk touched the corner of Lu Mei's lips. Babe, just look at her. She teased, sliding the phone right in front of your face. Wifey, why are you even wasting energy on this toxic girl? Just delete her and be done with it. There's 0 point in getting mad over her. From high school all the way to college. You chased her for 4 whole years. How could I, Lu Mei, possibly not care? A man acting as a doormat for some little bitch for 4 solid years. Do you have any idea how agonizing and frustrating those 4 years were for me? No, you don't. You don't know anything at all. Hearing her words, your face darkened. Something felt off. My 4-year pursuit of Hu Lijing wouldn't be hard for someone with Lu Mei's resources to dig up. But she said she had been suffering for 4 years. No matter how you look at it, that just doesn't make sense. Lu Mei and I clearly met for the very first time at the start of our freshman year last year. She's known me for less than a year. So where did these so-called 4 years of suffering even come from? My man, there's no need to make such a fuss. Lu Mei adjusted her emotions. Her smile domineering and aggressive. I didn't fall in love with you at Wanda Plaza. It was the day you finished your middle school exams. That moment you got down on one knee on the Pingyang Middle School sports field to confess your love to Hu Lijing. The reason I didn't relentlessly pursue you back then was simple. You were way too young. It just didn't feel right. I really couldn't bring myself to make a move. I didn't fall in love with you at Wanda Plaza, but rather on the day you finished your middle school exams. When you got down on one knee on the Pingyang Middle School sports field to confess to Hu Lijing. The reason I didn't relentlessly pursue you back then was simple. You were way too young. It just didn't feel right. I really couldn't bring myself to make a move. So, I just waited until you got into Dan University, and specifically arranged that elaborate, chance encounter at the Wanda Mall. You actually knew me right after I finished middle school? You were in total disbelief. After all, before turning 18, you had absolutely zero memory of this unhinged rich lady. Lu Mei suddenly pinched your chin. I didn't just know you. I laid eyes on you and knew you were mine. From that moment on, I fell madly in love with you. You understand? Well, there was no arguing with that. After all, your 16-year-old self was ridiculously handsome. But what about before you were 16? Did we ever meet before I turned 16? Lu Mei gave a deeply meaningful smile. Why don't you take a guess? Guess my ass? You couldn't help but complain frantically in your head. Just then, you suddenly caught a glimpse of a notification flashing on your phone screen. Look here, babe, your old flame, Hu Lijing, is messaging you again. You glanced down at the phone screen. Mu Zhe, is this the love you keep talking about every single day? Is your love really this cheap? Is it really that hard to just reply to my messages? This woman's shamelessness was truly off the charts. Didn't she say she would ignore you if you didn't buy her that pair brand phone? It hadn't even been 2 days and she'd already forgotten her own tough talk. Lu Mei asked with a smile. How do you want to reply to her? Whatever makes you happy, wifey. I'll listen to whatever you say. She raised an eyebrow, stroking your head affectionately. That's exactly why you're the man I chose. She immediately swiped open the photo gallery and found the video. Mu Zhe, are you really going to lose me forever? Hu Lijing, I'm actually taking the initiative to reach out to you. And you still dare to give me the cold shoulder? Do you want me to literally never speak to you again for the rest of my life? Still daring to threaten me at a time like this? Does she really think she's a $100 bill that everyone is obsessed with? Lu Mei looked completely disgusted. She forwarded the video straight to her, adding the message. Just look at how gorgeous my wifey is, you fake little bitch. Seeing that Mu Zhe finally replied, the excitement on Hu Lijing's face practically bubbled over. But the moment she clicked open the message, it was like she'd been struck by lightning. Wifey? He actually went behind my back and got a girlfriend? Hu Lijing just couldn't believe her eyes. She quickly clicked on the file. It turned out to be a video. And right at the very beginning, was a shot of Mu Zhe intimately hugging some gorgeous woman. She was trembling all over by the time she finished watching it. Her face turned bright red, then purple, absolutely furious and devastated. How could he do this? He swore to me that I was the only one you would ever love. That he wouldn't even look at another woman. And now he does this to me? Hu Lijing gritted her teeth in pure rage, feeling like her dignity had just been dragged right through the dirt. Lijing, are you okay? Even without looking at the screen, Zhang Wanyue could guess the reply wasn't exactly good news. Hu Lijing forced a smile that looked worse than crying. I'm fine, Yue. See? I'm perfectly fine. But what exactly did Mu Zhe say to you? Is he really seeing another woman? Hu Lijing forced a casual tone and tossed her hair. Mu Zhe? Oh, he is absolutely obsessed with me. He can't even eat without me around. I've got him completely wrapped around my little finger. There's no way you'd dare look for another woman. Zhang Wanyue stayed quiet. She didn't really doubt it, though. After all, she had seen how crazy you used to be about Hu Lijing. It was obvious to everyone. Hu Lijing then made an excuse to go to the bathroom. She immediately grabbed her phone to text you again. I am hungry. Go buy me some fried rice noodles right now. You have exactly 1 hour to get them here. When Lu Mei saw that Hu Lijing had completely ignored the video, and actually had the nerve to demand you deliver food in the middle of the night, she just laughed out of pure disbelief. With a cold scoff, she handed the phone over to you. This little tramp is absolutely disgusting. You need to put her in her place yourself. Don't disappoint me. In that last sentence, there was a very clear hint of a threat. Hearing this, you just nodded. Don't worry, I definitely won't. You took the phone, your fingers flying across the screen as you typed out a reply. You ugly freak, do you have any idea how hideous you actually look? If you don't have a mirror in your dorm, go look at your reflection in the toilet. Who the hell gave you the nerve to boss me around? I drive a Bugatti Veyron. You think I give a damn about your attitude? Let alone bring you cheap takeout? Why don't you just drop dead, you absolute psycho? Hu Lijing was completely dumbfounded. Her mind just went totally blank. He actually called me ugly? Are you really Mu Zhe? I'm not Mu Zhe, I'm your goddamn daddy. Hell, I'm the one who gave birth to your father. Are you satisfied now? You're not Mu Zhe, you absolutely can't be. He would never speak to me like this. Enjoy the block list, you bitch. I am not wasting another single word on you. After typing out that last message, you immediately blocked and deleted her in one swift, seamless motion. Are you satisfied now? After finishing everything, you looked up at Lu Mei. It was alright. You just blocked her way too fast. We should have tortured that little tramp for a few more days, just for the pure satisfaction of it. She is not worth it, Lu Mei. We just need to focus on living our own best lives. It's a total waste of energy letting a bitch like her ruin our mood. Lu Mei narrowed her eyes at you. Not bad at all, little puppy. You sure have a way with words. You don't sound like a naive college kid at all. Well, of course I don't. Man, I was a 30-year-old guy in my past life exactly the same age as you little yandere. Then, Lu Mei, do you like a more mature and steady version of me? You ask tentatively, as long as you're my dog. Forget about mature and steady. Even if you turned into a dried-up corpse, I'd still love you all the same. Feeling this crazy, almost twisted love, you suddenly really want to know what it actually felt like for her in your past life, when she had to watch you marry Hu Lijing with her own eyes. Without Hu Lijing's interference, Lu Mei leaned into your embrace for barely a few minutes, before falling into a deep sleep again, a faint, sweet smile lingering on her lips. Lu Mei leaned into your embrace for barely 3 minutes before falling back into a deep sleep. A sweet smile still lingered on her lips. There was only 1 hour left until 12 o'clock. Time was a bit tight, but this birthday surprise absolutely had to be delivered. What on earth should I get her for a gift? You furrow your brows tightly. Your brain spins rapidly. Lu Mei doesn't lack a single thing. Anything too cheap would just be embarrassing to give. Maybe I should pull a Zhang Wuji and promise her 3 wishes? Half an hour later, you rushed back carrying a beautifully crafted cake. The cake had a lovely name, Sweet Whispers. Right then, you passed by a pet store that was still lit up. Acting on some crazy impulse, you picked out a pure white Pomeranian, planning to give it to Lu Mei along with the cake. You wonder if she'll even like it. Meanwhile, Splendid Manor welcomed an uninvited guest. It was a 13 or 14-year-old boy, dressed sharply in a white Balenciaga suit. He looked incredibly elegant. This boy was named Lu Yan, Lu Mei's biological younger brother. Lu Yan looked at Du Lazy. Cousin, you don't think my sister is already asleep, do you? It's fine if she is. We can just knock and wake her up. Du Lazy grinned widely. True, but why didn't Mom and Dad just come here themselves? Why did they have to make me, her younger brother, make the trip? Lu Yan grumbled in annoyance. Young master, Lu Mei dotes on you and actually cares about you. But her relationship with your parents is pretty stiff. You coming over to celebrate her birthday won't make things too awkward. As they were talking, the Cullinan came to a smooth stop right at the villa gates. The car doors opened, and Lu Yan jumped out holding a gift, casually scooping up a fluffy gray British short-hair cat from inside. Sakura, you have to be a good girl at my sister's house. Don't run around, okay? Lu Yan softly patted the cat's head. Du Lazy had already walked up to the door and rang the doorbell. Lu Mei, are you resting yet? Lu Yan aggressively shoved Du Lazy aside. Cousin, you sound like you haven't eaten a thing. Louder. Saying that, he raised his hand and violently pounded on the door 3 times, screaming at the top of his lungs. Open up. Hurry and open the door. Your brother, Lu Yan, is here to celebrate your birthday. Click. The villa's front door swung open instantly. Wearing a black ice silk nightgown, Lu Mei's eyes, burning with a groggy, murderous fury from being woken up, coldly scanned the younger brother standing in front of her, who was about her height. Her voice was ice cold as she commanded. The cake, the candy, the tulips, throw every last bit of it into the trash can by the door. Or else, just stay out. Du Lazy shuddered in fear. He hurriedly tried to smooth things over. Miss Lu, the young master bought all of this with his own allowance. Please, just accept it. But the moment the words left his mouth, an icy, murderous glare swept over him. Terrified, Du Lazy instantly ducked his head, not even daring to breathe. Sis, are you really gonna throw it all away? I know it's not worth much, but it's still the thought that counts, right? Lu Yan pouted, looking completely crushed. Throw it all out. Lu Mei's voice was completely devoid of warmth. You don't like cake? Lu Yan frowned as he asked. I hate it. Makes me sick just eating it. What about the candy, then? I don't do sweets. I can't touch them at all. And the flowers? I'm severely allergic to pollen. Lu Yan froze, completely humiliated. He had been her own flesh and blood brother for 14 years. Yet he knew absolutely nothing about his own sister's conditions. Alright, sis. Since you hate all of it, just throw it away. Lu Yan's shoulders slumped in defeat. With his presence gone, he had no choice but to head inside, plop down on the couch, and turn on the TV out of boredom, playing with his British short-hair cat. Lu Mei, however, was still standing by the door, her eyes glued to the outside. It looked like she was waiting for someone. Why are you always standing by the door? It's almost midnight. Come hang out. Lu Yan yelled over to her, but Lu Mei acted like she hadn't heard a thing. She didn't even bother to turn her head. What's so interesting out there, anyway? Burning with curiosity, Lu Yan jogged over and peeked outside as well. That's when he spotted a tall, incredibly handsome guy. You were standing right at the villa gates. Noticing a stranger in the house, you asked, looking a bit confused. Hey, Lu Mei, do you have company? Lu Mei gave a tiny nod. My little brother. He had nothing better to do, so he ran over for my birthday. Oh, so it's my future brother-in-law. You muttered with a grin. Sis. Who the hell is he? You two look awfully close. Lu Yan's eyes were as wide as saucers. Something like this. Lu Mei, you really should have told me sooner. The second you finished speaking, you turned around, ready to take the dog away. Don't get rid of it. Lu Mei tightly grabbed your wrist. I'm terrified of dogs, yes. But we can just lock it in a cage and have Do Lazy feed it. Hearing this, Do Lazy let out a heavy, defeated sigh. Great. Another damn chore added to his plate. But you just shook your head. No way. If you're scared of dogs, we are absolutely not keeping it in the house. What if it gets out and bites you? I said, don't get rid of it. Are you deaf? Lu Mei's voice turned absolutely freezing. Completely crushed by her intense aura, you gulped hard. Oh, okay, fine. I won't get rid of it. Right then, the clock struck 12. You lead everyone in singing happy birthday. Then gently place the crown on Lu Mei's head yourself. Lu Mei, wishing you stay 18 forever. Always our gorgeous fairy. Come on, blow out the candles and make a wish. Lu Mei gave a soft hum, then awkwardly leaned over and blew out all the candles. Then she closed her eyes, clasped her hands together, and earnestly made a wish. After making her wish, Lu Mei smiled, a slight blush on her cheeks. Mujay, let me cut a piece of cake for you. Sis, cut me a piece first. I don't want any frosting, just the cake. Oh, and add 3 strawberries. Lu Yan sprawled over the table, whining to be fed. Beat it, are your arms broken or something? You're old enough to cut it yourself. Lu Mei turned her head away in annoyance. Lu Yan immediately spun around and clung to your arm. Brother-in-law, look at my sister. She's bullying me again.